I cannot believe. So we got cut off on my first video because I guess that was like time out. Interesting. I have so I looked at the time how long that video was. An hour 14 minutes something. I cannot believe that I have been talking on this camera for even close to an hour, much less over an hour. I can't believe that all that time just went by. That's crazy. That's like just mind blowing. It did not feel like that at all. It felt like maybe not even a half hour that I've been telling everything I can say. It does not feel like it was that long. Whoa. So I was about to finish my two more last dreams that I had before it cut me off. So, um, 2025, this first dream that was like this one that I had before the third earthquake dream. I was asleep, but in my sleep I was awake this time, and I was at the park, and I was there with my husband and my best friend from out of town. His wife, my best friend and his wife were there, out of town, and again, this is twilight. God shown me many dreams that things are gonna happen, like or possibly twilight. Not sure why it's always twilight, like before the sun is about to set. And we were at the park. I could still see some blue in the sky. You know, the sun hadn't started to go down yet. It was about to start trying to, go down. So like before twilight. And I was there with my husband, my best friend from out of town. He was there with his wife, and we were at a park, and we were swinging my daughter on a swing. My husband and I were swinging my daughter on a swing, and my best friend and his wife were standing by next to the swing. And something caught my attention. I looked up to the sky, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I was like, whoa, what am I looking at? I looked up, and chemtrails, that white tail that goes across the sky? So I saw the sky covered in them, full of them, in all directions. All directions, going south, east, west, you name it. The whole sky was covered in those chem looking trail, whitish color looking chemtrails, all directions across the whole entire sky, everywhere. And then when I was watching them, you can watch a plane travel, and they travel pretty fast, but these were moving like abnormal fast, not normal. I've never seen how fast, like how these were moving across the sky, covering the whole entire sky in all directions. These big, huge chemtrail looking things all over the place coming down. And I think my husband saw what I was looking at. He looked up too, and he saw, and he was like just stunned and just staring, like, what are we looking at? And I looked at my best friend, and I looked at his wife, and I was like, you guys, look up, look at this. And they both looked up, and they went, hmm. They shrugged and went, hmm. So they were again like how I've seen people in the past, like this zombie mode. So I started like, I got, riled up. I was like, are you guys kidding me right now? Like, when do you ever see something like this? You never see something like this. What are you, you don't see that? Like, what is, I'm like, I can't believe you guys are like, snap out of it. Wake up. So I called my best friend, and I told him, and I said, listen, that dream was partially to warn you too. Not just everybody and myself, but to warn you too. Like, you're awake. You're not awake. You're a zombie. You're spiritually asleep. You need to wake up now. Okay? Now. That was the warning. I called him and I told him. I was like, that was for you. Because you and your wife sat there like, like you was looking at an everyday event there happening. Like, I couldn't believe it. So they were like zombies, and they were tripping. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know. So my husband and I looked at each other. We're like, we gotta go. And everybody in the park started running and freaking out because they saw it too. There was other people at the park, and they started freaking out. They were like, you know, like, what are we looking at? They were freaking out. They were scared. My husband and I, we just looked at each other like, yeah, we need to go. Like, whatever is happening here, like, I don't know. This is crazy. This is, yeah. So to me, it kind of reminded me of like the stars coming, like in the book of Revelation, you know, where the stars coming down, like falling, you know, figs falling off of trees kind of thing. That's what it kind of reminded me of. You know, not saying that that's what it was, but that's what it kind of reminded me of. You know, it was just so many. The whole sky was covered in them in all directions. So my husband and I, we got our daughter. We ran. Our instinct was just to, you know, just get to the house and just kind of like just get the basic bare essentials of what we needed, you know, like for our daughter, you know, like she needs food or something, you know. Um, we want to have whatever we can get to just take care of her until we can figure out like what's our next step, because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what happened. All we know is that we just depend on the Lord, and we seek, you know, guidance from him to help us figure out what we got to do and just go, you know. But our instinct was to get out of the city, because in the city, because people were starting to loot actually already, so we already knew we need to get out of the city because people were already freaking out from what they saw, and they were looting. They already started acting crazy. People just start acting crazy. So my husband and I, we knew we had to get out of the city. It was not safe. So our plan was to just go up to the mountains, get away from the city. So we just packed whatever we could, you know, like basic essentials, you know, for our daughter, food, you know, whatever, water, whatever, and just packed and just got in the car and was trying to get out of the city. And then I woke up. And then, so that was the second to last dream that I've had like this, was that one. And I think it was before the earthquake one. And then I think this video is going to cut me off. I'm not good with technology. I don't know how to make these things work, but it says out of 9:55, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. I don't know what that means. Like, is that a time cutoff it's going to give me? I don't know. So just in case, I'm going to end this video with that. And then I'm going to start another new one to tell the last dream that God gave me, which was the end of last year, 2025. It was like fall time, I think. That was the last one that he gave me, like this. So I'm gonna end this one and then start a new one in case, so I don't get cut off again. Because again, with technology and stuff, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just recording this stuff, and I want to get it out to as many people as I can, because I believe that God is telling us to tell everybody what he's warning us about, because it's important. It's eternal life. You know, he's not giving us these warnings just for no reason. It's to help us, to help as many people as we can. So I'm going to pause this one and start a new one.